All righty, guys. For the plaintiff, Mr. Boston, we have a witness. In the regular defense chair, Matt is Mr. Jackson. And being that this is a depot, we have a second defense attorney. Sarah is Ms. Walker. This is the March 2005 CSR. So we start with a little colloquy. And
Helen, just so you know, I'll have that cover for you next week.
Okay, we'll be waiting. We got a little colloquy, and eventually we're going into examination to start by plaintiff Mr. Boston. So if you are ready, you guys ready? Here we go. The record should reflect that we are here now for the deposition of Sarah Butler. Why don't we all state appearances for the record?
All right. Thank you. Robert Jackson, and I am representing defendant Bill Evans.
Jill Walker for the defendant, Gold Realty.
Thank you. John Boston for the plaintiffs, Larry and Debbie Perkins.
Thank you, Mr. Butler, Ms. Butler, for coming in today. I don't know if they have explained it all to you, but we are going to be asking you some questions here today.
I was just getting ready to do that, but if you want to go ahead, that's fine.
I spoke to my attorney before I came here today, and he explained it to me. I believe I understand what's going to be happening.
Excuse me, but did you say your attorney?
Yes, I retained an attorney.
Is he planning to be here today?
No, I just spoke to somebody to get some information and some advice, but he is not going to be here for this lawsuit.
Thank you.
Well, if we are not waiting for anyone else, we might as well get started.
Is there anything else that either counsel want to put on the record before we begin with the testimony?
No, thank you.
No, I have some exhibits to mark later, but why don't we begin?
Would you state your name for the record, please?
Sarah Butler.
And would you spell your first and last name for the record, please?
Sarah, S-A-R-A-H, Butler, B-U-T-L-E-R.
Thank you. Do you understand the oath that you have been given?
Yes, I do.
Do you understand that it is your obligation to tell the truth here today?
Yes, I do.
Do you have any questions about that before we begin with the examination?
No, I don't think I have any questions. I understand the proceedings, and I am here to answer your questions.
Thank you. Where are you currently employed?
I am not employed at this time.
Back in June of 2003, where were you working?
I worked for Gold Realty.
What were your job duties there?
Basically, I was the office manager. I was responsible for answering the phones and all the office stuff that goes with running a business.
Are you also a real estate agent or broker?
No, I am not.
Did you have anything to do with selling homes or property?
Objection, vague. I mean, she worked in the office, so I'm sure she had something to do with the business.
That wasn't my actual question. I can rephrase it.
Okay, if you would please, thank you.
You testified that you were not an agent or broker?
That's correct.
So you didn't sell any houses while you were working there?
No, I didn't have the license for that.
What were your duties with respect to selling houses?
Sometimes I would have to file the loan papers or the closing documents with the appropriate people, but that didn't happen that often.
Did you have any contact with the clients of Gold Realty while you were employed?
Yes, they would come into the office sometimes, and I would see them then.
Were you involved in helping the clients to fill out paperwork or anything like that?
No, not really. They would bring in documents and drop them off for their agents, but I didn't actually complete them or anything like that.
Do you remember ever meeting my clients, Larry and Debbie Perkins?
I know I met them at some time, but I couldn't swear to the date or anything.
What was the occasion for your meeting, Larry and Debbie?
They were probably in the office and talking to Mr. Evans. He must have introduced me to them.
Objection, speculation, move to strike.
Do you remember if Bill Evans was a real estate agent for Gold Realty while you were employed there?
He certainly was. He was working there before I was hired.
Okay, when did you begin working there, if you remember?
You know, I was trying to remember that before I arrived today, and I am not exactly sure of the date.
Well, can you give us a ballpark estimate of when you started there?
I believe it was before I had my baby, and that was in April. So I'm guessing it was sometime before then.
What year would that be?
Oh, I'm sorry. I probably started there March of 1996.
And you believe that Bill Evans was already working there when you started?
Yes, I think so. I know I met all the employees in the office, and I remember meeting him. I don't know when he started there, though.
Now, on the afternoon that you met my clients, do you remember the approximate date that happened?
No, not really.
Counsel, could it be stipulated that the contract in dispute was entered into on May 15, 2003?
I will stipulate.
I don't want to stipulate to that at this time.
All right.
You can just ask her if she remembers the date. If she doesn't recall, that's perhaps a matter that will have to be proved up at a subsequent time.
Okay, then for the purposes of my inquiry here today, ma'am, I want you to assume the relevant time period that you met my clients was May of 2003.
Okay.
Between the period of May and August of that year, do you remember approximately how many occasions you either spoke to or observed my clients in the office?
Well, I can guess a number, but I'm not positive.
No, we don't want you to speculate. If you don't remember, it is perfectly all right for you to say you don't know. We just want your best estimate here today.
I think I probably saw them somewhere around 5 times.
Do you remember if Mr. Evans was with them on every occasion that you had contact with them?
Well, he was probably in the office, but I couldn't remember if he was standing there with them or not.
Objection, speculation.
Join.
Isn't it customary that when people will come to see their agents in the office, that the agents will come out to greet their clients?
Sometimes they do, and sometimes the clients just go back to the office.
Do you have any recollection of what happened with this case?
No, I really don't.
Do you remember any discussions that you had with either of my clients relating to the purchase of their home?
Not anything other than just greeting them when they came in and asking if they wanted something to drink or something like that.
Is it correct that you don't remember any phone conversation with them in June regarding their loan papers?
That's correct. I don't remember ever talking to them about that.
Do you remember calling them at any time about their home loan?
I don't really have anything to do with any loans. If they had problems with their papers for their loan, that wouldn't be my area to deal with.
I am sorry, I misspoke. I don't mean their home loan, but the purchase of their home. Do you have any recollection of any phone conversations with them?
No, I don't.
Are you testifying that no phone calls took place, or just that you don't remember having any discussions with them?
I don't remember talking to them about anything that sticks out in my mind. If they called regarding their purchase or to discuss something with Bill, I would have answered the phone and spoken to them.
I understand.
But I wouldn't have discussed about any details with them on their papers or anything. I would only put the call through to whoever they were calling to talk to.
I don't have anything further at this moment. Mr. Jackson, do you want to begin first?
Yes, if that's all right with everyone.
No problem.
Mr. Jackson has some questions for you as well.
Okay.
Ms. Butler, thank you for coming in today. For your information, I represent Bill Evans in this litigation, and I just have a couple questions for you.
Okay.
counsel asked you how you met Larry and Debbie Perkins, and you thought that Mr. Evans introduced you to them. Is that your memory of how it happened?
Yes, it is.
Are you positive that it was Mr. Evans, or how do you place it as being him that introduced you to them?
I just remember that they were his clients on that deal. They were buying the house, and he was the agent for the sale.
Do you remember any other agents in your office working with Bill Evans on this transaction?
No.
What is the standard practice in the office for the agents who work there and their workload? Is everyone responsible for their own deals, or do people help each other out?
Objection. Calls for speculation and no personal knowledge.
I am just asking for her opinion.
Well, you asked her what the standard practice is.
Also, she no longer works there, so the time frame should be clarified.
During the time that you worked there, did you notice if the agents only worked the cases they were assigned, or whether everyone worked all the deals?
Everyone had their own houses that they were selling or buying or whatever, yes.
Was it a common practice that one agent might help another agent in regards to closing the deal?
I don't really know what they would do as far as closing the house. I mean, if you are talking about someone dropping off papers for them or something like that, I'm sure that happened.
Objection, non-responsive.
Were you ever made aware that someone other than Mr. Evans was working on this particular transaction?
No, not that I recall.
Do you know an agent by the name of Joseph Stanton working for Gold Realty?
Yes, I do. He started working there after I did.
Do you know what his role or duties were at Gold Realty?
He was a realtor. He sold houses and bought houses for clients.
Do you remember Mr. Stanton bringing you any documents regarding the house on Maple Lane?
No, I don't. I mean, he might have handed me something to mail, but I wouldn't know what's contained in the envelope.
So you don't remember any specific event where he requested you to do something regarding that file?
No.
Do you ever work on files for the agents in any way?
Sometimes I collect the files from the agents and get them ready for copying, but that only happened a couple times while I was working.
Who would do the copying of the documents if it wasn't you?
They had employees in the back that just did that.
Did you ever work in that position in the office?
No, I always was in the front area like a receptionist, I guess.
You were the person of the company that the public encountered initially if they came in the front door, is that correct?
Yes, I suppose that would be correct. It wasn't a large area, but I was in the front.
Let me ask you a question regarding the general practices of the business. When a sale would conclude and all the documents were signed, what would happen to the case file in the office?
You mean when the closing documents were signed and everything?
Yes. After the deal was completed and the people received the keys to their property, what would happen to the file that was maintained in the company?
After all the copies were made and everything was done, then the documents would be placed in the storage room where we maintained those things.
Was there a specific location in the building that held those cases?
Absolutely.
Did you have access to that area?
Sure, everyone did. It was located next to the lunchroom and it was a storage closet.
What else was that room used for?
It wasn't actually a room. It was basically like a closet. We kept the completed cases there and then some office supplies in addition.
Is it your testimony today that you do not remember personally handling this file other than just regular processing in your office?
Yes, that would be it. I might have been the one that put it in the storage box, but usually it is the agent when everything is done and they have whatever information out of the file that they need.
Do the agents remove things from the file, or are you talking about?
No. I mean, sometimes they make copies of things that they need, but they wouldn't remove anything from the file.
Thank you again for your cooperation, ma'am.
You are welcome.
No further questions at this time.
Ms. Butler, I just have a couple questions for you also.
Okay.
Now, during the time period that you were working at Gold Realty, were you ever instructed on how to file loan documents in the office?
Well, just generally, yes. I mean, sometimes filing papers would come in for a house and I would put them in the mailbox for the agent who was handling that transaction.
So you would match up the agent with the papers, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Did you ever assign certain cases to agents, or was that beyond your responsibility?
No, I didn't have anything to do with that.
Let me ask you a hypothetical question. If someone walked into your office and was interested in buying a home, who would you direct them to?
Well, it wasn't really that kind of business. I mean, I guess people could walk in off the street, but the people that came in were clients that had appointments or they were meeting someone.
In the time period that you worked there, did you ever have anybody come in off the street and request to interview with a realtor regarding a property purchase?
Not that I ever remember.
If that event had occurred, what would have been the procedure? How were you to handle that situation?
I would have immediately called my boss and reported to him someone was in the office who wanted to select an agent.
And who was your boss?
Most of the time I worked there, it would have been Ron Gates.
Is that who hired you at Gold Realty?
Yes, it is. I was just his secretary, I guess you could say.
You were working for Mr. Gates, but you also had other responsibilities in the office dealing with the other agents?
Yes, that's true.
What was the job title for Mr. Gates?
He was the owner of the business.
Did you ever understand him to be a realtor or broker?
I believe so. I mean, I know he sold houses, but he was mostly in the office and always handling the administrative stuff.
Okay, when you say mostly in the office, do you mean as opposed to out showing houses to clients?
Yes, he did have some clients and he did sell some properties or purchase some houses for clients, but he mostly was in the office.
Would you observe him on a daily basis while you were employed?
Yes, most definitely.
Do you remember Mr. Gates and Mr. Evans ever working together on a contract?
No, I wouldn't imagine that would have happened.
Why do you say that?
Well, I just don't think that would work.
Can you explain that to us?
Well, it is only my opinion, but I don't think they liked each other very much.
Objection, speculation.
It is just my opinion. That's what I believe.
Miss Butler, did you ever observe any type of fight or altercation between Mr. Evans and Mr. Gates?
Objection, irrelevant unless it deals with this contract.
You can answer the question, ma'am.
They didn't really talk to each other that much. Every now and then they would argue about something, but I mainly tried not to get in the middle of that.
Let me ask you some questions about the layout of the office. Your desk and office area, how far was that from where the different agents were in the office?
Well, you first walk into the office. Ultimately, you have to go down the little hallway to get back to where the agents worked.
If you were positioned at your desk, could you see any agents?
Not really. You have to walk down the hallway.
And where was Mr. Gates located in relationship to your desk?
Oh, he was completely in a different area of the building. His office was back beyond the conference room and all the cubicles for all the agents.
I assume you were much closer to the agents than to Mr. Gates. Is that correct?
Yes, I suppose that's correct.